Everybody, welcome back. My name is Mathis, and today I want to show you how to very easily send yourself text messages using Python and the Notifox Alerts API. If you're not aware, Notifox is a platform that allows you to send yourself or your teammates notifications without having to deal with a lot of the bureaucracy and cost of other SMS providers like Twilio and SNS. If you're interested in learning more, obviously go to notifox.com. We have a pricing page that kind of explains it a little bit in more detail. But today, I mainly wanted to go into how to actually use the Notifox Alerts API with the newly released Python SDK. So as you can see, our package is on PyPy. It's also open source on GitHub. The latest version of this SDK or package is 0.1.2. I'm sure by the time you're watching this will have changed a little bit. We're working very hard to make it as good as possible for you. But if things have changed, I think it's worth looking into the actual documentation, both on PyPy or GitHub or on docs.notifox.com. We have very comprehensive documentation on both the Python SDK as well as the actual API reference and whatnot. Alternatively, you can go to our Discord server and ask a question there. But without further ado, let's get into it. So when you go to notifox.com and you click on create an account, it will send you to the Notifox console where we can do a handful of things. We need to do a handful of things before we can start sending text messages. Before we get started, I want to tell you that there is currently a promotion running that if you go to account and you enter the promo code launch10 with no space, so just launch10, I'll put it here on the screen somewhere as well, you get $1 worth of credits for free that you can use and play around with Notifox and see. Obviously, I've already redeemed this, so when I do this, it's going to say invalid promo code. But if you try this, it will give you $1 worth of credit to play around with. First thing we want to do is we want to create an audience. And an audience is basically like an alias for a recipient or who we want to send the text message to. So first thing we want to do is either click on add audience or add your first audience. And it will ask you to give the audience a name. So this is an alphanumeric field. So I'm just going to call it Mathis because obviously that's my name. And then I'm going to enter my phone number. Phone number in this case has to be a US phone number. If you are outside of the US or you have a different area code, please reach out to us, get in contact, and we can see what we can do to allow your specific country to also send text messages. I'm going to fill in my phone number and then click on send verification code, and this will text me a verification code to my phone, as you can see here. Where is it? Here, I've already done this previously, so I have two, but it has just sent me a verification code, and I will enter this one into here, 100278. Obviously, for you, this will be different. I'll click on verify, and as you can see, it has verified our audience. And this is obviously the name that we'll be using inside the Python SDK to tell the API who to actually send the alert to. Next up, and this is the final thing we need to do in the console, is to create an API token. The API token, or the API key, will be used to authenticate with the Alerts API to let it know, hey, I'm an actual user, and these are the audiences I can use, and this is who I can build to. So we'll go into the API tokens tab and click on create token. Obviously, this will create a token for us that we can copy. So we'll copy this. And then we'll go into Visual Studio Code and we'll get started on our code. Because we have the API token copied, the first thing I like to do is say export Notifox API key, API underscore key is equal to our API key. On Windows, I think this would be set or something similar. I will leave something in the description or the comments to let you know what the actual command is for Windows. But the first thing we want to do is create a virtual environment. This is just really good Python practice, but you don't necessarily have to do this. But we'll do virtual env, and then source env bin activate. And this sets up our Python environment as it should. Next thing we want to do is actually install the Python package. So we'll do pip3 install Notifox, and this should install the latest version of Notifox. In this case, I'm using 0.1.2, like I said earlier. Now that we have the Notifox package installed, we can actually get started with writing code. First thing we want to do is from Notifox, import Notifox client. And then we want to initialize this client. So we'll say client, like that, is Notifox client. And here we have several different ways of authenticating. By default, the Notifox client will actually read the Notifox API key environment variable. And if that is set, so if that's not an empty string, it will use that as the authorization bearer code. If for some reason we don't want to set an environment variable, we don't want to go that route, we can also hard code the API key by doing API_key is equal to the string of your API key. As a developer, I have to tell you, this is not the ideal way of doing it because that would mean hard coding your credentials. If your environment ever gets leaked or you commit this to Git, it's just not ideal. So I would advise you not to do this. I would advise you to use the environment variable way of setting your keys, but you have the option. Next thing we want to do is actually send an alert. So we can do client.send_alert, and then we need to provide it with the audience, so who we want to send the alert to. Audience is equal to, and then ideally we want to pick out of our audiences Mathis with the name. I guess in this case that would be your name or whatever you set your audience to. And then secondly, we want to specify the actual alert message that we will receive via text. So in this case, I'm going to say, hello world, but this could be anything. So depending on where you're running this or what purpose you're using this for, like a Discord server or Discord bot, or if this is running in your CI or in some other code that checks whether your website is down, this would be an error code or some other message that you would understand, right? And this is basically it. At this point, we can send a text message. And actually, let's give that a go. Let's say Python 3 main.py. And we should receive a text message here any second. I don't know if you can see it. Yes, it has come in. I need to unlock my phone in order to show it to you. But as you can see at the bottom here, it's mirrored for you, but it actually says Notifox Hello World. We can go into our console. We can actually see this alert that it was delivered and how long it took to be delivered. We can see some more information on the client side as well. If we actually capture the response of this API call and print this response out, we'll be able to see the cost, the ID, how many parts, and the actual message that we sent. So we'll do resp, we'll print that out, and then we'll actually change this to we'll actually add something here to make sure, or to indicate that this is a separate message. And I will hold my phone ready to capture the text message. So we'll send this, and we should get a text message. There we go. Again, it's mirrored for you guys, but trust me, it says hello world 123. And here we can actually see some metadata about the message as well. We have the message ID. We can see how many parts there are. The cost of of sending the message, the currency, and the encoding. Also the characters here. I know you can't see behind my webcam, but it is there. The parts are fairly important in this SDK because it kind of decides how expensive your message is. If you have a whole bunch of text, it's going to take up multiple SMS parts. That's just kind of how that works. Because this can be kind of unpredictable to a new user, we have also created a separate API route that allows you to kind of dry run sending a message, and it will tell you how much it will cost when you send it, what the alert will look like, how many parts there are, and the different encoding types. So this might require some context, and if you're interested in this, I highly recommend you read this part of the documentation. So docs.notifox.com/docs/reference/parts. This will tell you a lot more about how the parts are calculated and how you're billed for those. But it comes down to if you use certain characters like emojis or maybe like a Chinese character, the SMS encoding is different, and I don't want to call it compression, but the message takes up more space. So if you start using weird characters, it might be a little bit more expensive. But we can actually test this out by doing resp equals client dot calculate parts, and then we can just say alert equals hello world. And if we run this, it won't actually send the message, but it'll tell you all about the message. So in this case, this would cost one part. This would be one part. It would cost 2.5 cents in US dollars. We have the GSM7 encoding, and this is 21 characters. This is 21 characters because we have this Notifox prefix that's there to essentially remind the user or the recipient of the text messages to say, hey, this is a message from Notifox, and this is kind of more of a regulatory requirement than anything else. In this case, right, this is just a simple message. If we add a emoji to here, I don't know what this recommendation is, but let's add a globe to our message. You'll see that the encoding will change to UCS2, and the characters is suddenly 48 because that little emoji takes up a lot more space. But this is an easy and convenient way to actually check how much the alert will cost before you send it. And so if you're just playing around with Notifox, this could be a really, really good way to kind of get accustomed to how the encoding works. But again, if you're interested in this, read the documentation or join our Discord server, which you can find at the bottom of the docs or on our main homepage over here. That's already the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are eager to try out notifox.com. I'm very curious to see what you're going to come up with. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and I will see you later in another Notifox video. Thank you.